you get fired up?
I've got it set up now so we can record
Oh,
the video call right through here, so we should be good.
okay. Good morning to you, Greg Beecher.
Good morning.
You
So,
look good in that there dapper white stuff.
why,
Look
thank
at
you.
fire.
Yeti strong. Love it. So,
Yeti
we
strong.
talk all the time, but we've got Paul Noecker, Utica Yeti GM. So what I really wanted to talk to you about today is, oh, what, about a month ago you called and were like, hey, we might be getting LAXNAI in Utica. I'm not really sure about anything else. Don't really say anything, but be prepared. And then a month, here we are a month later, and we just, Utica hosted LAXNAI, and wow.
Wow. It was wow. There's what the North American box lacrosse brought to the Utica venue. Wow. It was an incredible weekend. Started Thursday night of last week and ran to Sunday night late, tearing it down, and many hours after that as well. It was the people that came to the city of Utica. I hope they had a great time. It's definitely a different venue compared to what the Onondaga venue is. That is a gorgeous, beautiful facility they have there as well. Uh, Loved it there, and I'm hoping it stays here in Utica for many years to come. It was awesome, and that was just the start. Next year, there's going to be 4 rinks, all indoors, no outdoors. So it's growing, and it was an incredible weather-wise. Mother Nature and the Creator definitely set us up with a perfect weekend.
Yeah, what an amazing weekend it was. I mean, how many
You
games do you
didn't
think?
you didn't see much of the weather. I know that, but as far as the weather was great.
Yeah, no, we were stuck inside. We did a couple minutes in between games to try to sprint out, find you guys real quick, and talk for a couple minutes. But yeah, it was that was a lot of lacrosse games. I know we streamed over 50 games. I think it was closer to 60 when we were all said and done with the U18, U15, which was a blast. The U15 kids were awesome. The U18, those young men, I mean, that was wow.
That was wow as well. Don't forget, and the loudest cheering I heard all weekend on the indoor rink and outdoor for rink for that matter was the women's game, the Tri City Women's against the Iroquois Nationals women's team, and wow, you want to talk about the girls? They can the women. I'll say the women. They can play lacrosse just like the men do. As far as I know, traditionally, maybe they don't like that the women are playing lacrosse, but I know, wow, can they play lacrosse? It was a great venue, and since that's happened, we've probably had about I want to say about 20 girls say that they're signing up for our spring lacrosse or our winter box lacrosse program. So, what you and the missus were able to put forth to the general public, it was huge. It was huge. They was watching all over the place. It
Yeah, it
was
was
awesome.
crazy. I'm looking up the thing right now. I want to say the women's game was one of the highest viewed games. Let me look at my channel.
Last
So I
I
actually,
think I had 1,700 hits, or maybe it was 14 or 12, one of those. But it was on the. I don't know. I've been looking at your numbers as well, and I, I'm not Johnny Number, so I have no idea if that's a good thing, bad thing. But you get that many people to watch a sport that is streamed, that's awesome.
yeah. So they had 1.8 thousand views for the whole game. They've got close to 100 on the highlights and the shorts. I put one short up real quick that I had of just I don't even know who the two girls were, but the one woman ran over the other lady, and that had over 3,000 got shared all over the place. It went pretty crazy.
It was body. They played box. It was great to watch. I mean, I was fortunate enough to be on the bench with Bobby Dixon, Bobby Leary from Tri City, and it was a moment that it was one of the highlights of the weekend for me, honestly. To get those ladies rocking like they were and enjoying the game. I mean, some of the hits, you've seen the hits. Some of the hits were they were regular box hits, whether it was man, woman, whatever. And one of the young ladies that came off, her eyes were like saucers. They were huge, and I'm like, "You all right?" And she's like, "That was awesome." And they haven't experienced women's lacrosse. In general, field lacrosse is 1,000,000,000 times different than box lacrosse, and there's girls out there that want to play.
Yeah, and actually, I think our guest commentator we had for the one game was saying that the equity in the sport, as far as like, there's no different rules for women's box lacrosse than men's box lacrosse. It's legitimately the same game. There's no difference.
No difference. It's straight up men's, women's box lacrosse is men's, women's box lacrosse. There's no like hockey. Similar. It's the same game, but just there's some tweaking. There's no tweaking. It's full on body play the game.
Yeah,
It's
and
awesome.
the goalie there, especially for the snipers team, I didn't have a chance to watch the whole thing, but I saw rewatch the whole thing. But as I was looking at some of the highlights, my first two or three clips were saves and hits, and like the goalies for the Six Nation snipers there and for the Tri-City team were just really on point. And you wonder how long they've even had the chance to play box lacrosse. Like, where are their leagues? How long have they been playing? I didn't really get a chance to talk to any of them.
I know with talking to a couple of the Canadian girls that were playing with the Tri City team, they've been running. Which names? I apologize. I've met so many people last week. It's hard to remember any names. But as far as they had said that they had played the Iroquois team, the Snipers, several times, and they've never beat them. So it was a great feeling knowing that I think we only added 4 girls to the girls that came down from Canada, from the Tri-City area, and just to see those young ladies put the effort in and not knowing anything basically about the game. We had a practice an hour before the first game or before the game, and that was the first time a couple of them have ever picked up a men's lacrosse stick. So to sit there and watch them, to watch them take the shots that they were doing, they were catching and running on the pass, on the run, and taking shots, and they look like they've been playing with a men's lacrosse stick for several years. For the local girls, and they haven't. But the Canadian girls, they've been playing for several years. It sounds. So it was nice to see a mixture of new bloods coming in with some Canadian bloods, and they came out on top. It was a great game, overtime. Can't beat that.
Yeah, all of the games there, like all of the semifinals, the women's game, the men's finals, they were all down to the wire. The youth games were really close. There was one that kind of got away, but I mean, the level of play out there and the level of competition and product that was put on the floor was just amazing. I mean, there was wow, the way those guys were passing and shooting. I said when I was talking to Irizarry there, you saw like every team in the NABLL has a top 3 or 4 guys, whereas those teams that really went to the championship, their entire team was studs like that. It was just
Yeah.
crazy.
We played Gold Star Tel Aviv in our second game of Thursday night, and it was 1-1 at halftime, and then all of a sudden they figured out that we can't be running with the Yeti, so they clicked it in a couple extra gears, and it was still, I'm going to say, relative. They're professionals for the most part. Every one of those guys on the Tel Aviv and on the Rochester Bats teams either were professionals or are current professionals. I want to say darn near, whether it's Can-Am, whether it's NLL, whatever it is. These guys, they were ballers. It was great. It was an awesome time. The experience was incredible. I wish we represented a little bit better in the first two games, but it is what it is, and you get your learning medicine on those first couple, and you know the third game following day we came out, we got an opportunity to play hard, and we beat the little brother, we'll call him, in Bang City. That was a Schultz and Dooley's Cup, and that was pretty fun as well. And then we beat the Moon Bears, and that was pretty fun. I thought that we should have been beaten Space Lax. I thought we had them, and they finished one spot above us with the 10th place. But I'm very elated. We came 11th place, and for first time ever, I'm excited. It gives us opportunity to improve. And
you were saying how 11th place with the how many men's team was there total?
I believe there was 26, 24. We're around the 26, 24.
So with 24 teams,
14, 11th place, it's better than half. I like that. We were on the positive side of half.
well, even more than that, though. I mean, you gave all the players on your team, especially the younger guys who haven't had a ton of experience, an opportunity to play against the best of the best by getting them in that LAXNAI tournament. I mean, that's huge.
Greg, we were lucky. Well, again, like you had said at the beginning of the podcast here, it was less than a month that we had found out about it, and being in the Utica city, they offered us a home team spot, and we gladly accepted it, and hopefully we did I know we did the best we could do. The guys were balling hard after a week before, playing 5 games and coming into this with some bumps and bruises and a couple guys that couldn't make it. I thought we did an awesome job in regards to representing what the Utica Yeti are all about.
Yeah, I mean,
playing
for a second-year team,
playing and having fun.
That's what it's all about. And growing box lacrosse in the area is got to be huge for the Yeti, because now you guys have the youth program coming. I would imagine after having LAXNAI there, you're going to start seeing more youth programs popping up around the surrounding areas. I mean, how long do you think it's going to take before you start to see the kind of production that like you get out of the reservation teams, where they've actually, you can tell the difference between the guys who have had a stick in their hand for their whole life versus a lot of us who didn't pick it up till later?
Sure, true. Well, once again, we're going cradle to grave.
Hang
that's
on.
the one thing we're looking. Yep.
There's Mrs. Beecher.
Hey, Mrs. Beecher. I see you.
Says hello.
Almost come over to step to the side a little bit.
Yeah.
Only seen an
No, she was just being awesome and bringing me some coffee.
She's doing the Mrs. Beecher stuff. That's awesome.
Yes.
Mrs. Noecker was way too kind to me this morning, and we had steak and eggs this morning, so I was excited about that. Yes, and due, of course. I got my due. I'm all good.
Yeah. Now, huge shout out to Mrs. Noecker for tolerating us and all of these phone calls and the crazy random stuff, and coming and supporting everybody there. Like you said, Charity spent the whole 3 days. I don't know how she did what she did, where she stays on the camera the whole time. I get to watch lacrosse and clip it. I don't know how she does it.
She is awesome. She did an incredible job on the camera. Pictures, in regards to the viewing concept, it was awesome. I'm still going through video now. It's been a crazy week. But as far as being able to watch some video, the NA BLL championship was awesome. In regards to, we were able to get it videotaped, but when you get that opportunity to use some tools that fine tune things, it makes a big difference. And she did a great job with that camera. She rocked it.
Yeah. I mean, a huge thanks to the NABLL for basically getting me and her prepared for LAXNAI. Huge shout out to LAXNAI to basically being like, oh, you want a camera? You need better headsets so it sounds better? We'll take care of that for you. And Scott Neese and the boys at LAXNAI did an awesome job. Without them, yeah, definitely, we didn't have that kind of equipment to have. And thankfully, they made sure we had a high quality camera to rent and bought me some nice headphones, which I'm still wearing. Thank you very much, LAXNAI.
They did a great job. Scott and Brad. I don't know Brad's how to say it off the top of my head, but worked with him throughout the weekend, and a bunch of good guys. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. There's so many people there that participated. The volunteers we had there. Uh, I'd like to hope, this was on kind of short notice. We were a little slow organizing things. We'd be able to get more volunteers for next year. But yeah, the overall product with what we got, getting all the games played on time, the medical staff that they had there, just a super well run, organized tournament.
It was, and I'm sure the odd had a lot to do with that. I'm blessed, for the Utica Yeti to be able to play there. I can't wait till the Nexus Center opens, and we can get some more box lacrosse in this area. It's
Yeah,
going to
I
be
mean,
I'll go on. I'm sorry.
we definitely owe a huge thank you to the entire odd staff, the Rob Esch and everybody there has been awesome. They bent over backwards to make sure we have what we need. CBI cables, making sure I could get the extension cables to run the video and stuff I needed. Yeah, the entire city of Utica made it so awesome. And being able to have the hotels, being a large enough city that they were able to accept that, but still having that small city feel where you saw the youth kids out there in the parking lot throwing the ball around. It was a very special experience.
It was. Yeah, I can't say enough about and with all the construction going around there. People were parking. I want to say probably about maybe a half a mile away from the arena and walking in. I mean, that was a pretty good walk that I had seen people walking. And I'm like, my goodness. But once again, it's because all the construction and the new stuff that's going in out there. Next year is going to be incredible. Incredible. It's going to be
Yeah, I
fun.
mean the parking will be in front where the rink was and having multiple rinks, and I would imagine they're going to have the ability to stream multiple rinks
Oh
while
yes.
yeah, just
It's going to be a whole new venue. Well, you got the main rink is going to be the odd, the main concept, or the main rink, and then you got the mini odd is going to have a 1800 capacity, 1800 seat capacity, which looks just like the odd. It's going to have the jumbotrons. It's going to have all the things that the large odd has, the mini odd is going to have in it. The restaurants that are going to be surrounding the whole complex, and you got the two other rinks side by side. I'm elated for the fact there's going to be turf inside a box rink all season long. I mean that is right now. We've been practicing box lacrosse with netting. It makes it a little difficult with playing the walls and the bounces and everything. But you make do with what you got. And now that winter is approaching, we got a rink. I'm excited. The boys are excited. Everybody's taking a couple weeks off just to.
So you were saying everybody's taking a couple weeks, they're healing off, and we were going to kind of start going into what happens for the wintertime with the Yeti.
What happens with the Yeti is we don't go into hibernation, that's for sure. As far as in about 3 weeks, once the Nexus opens up, we're gonna start doing it up again. We're going to to say it's going to be different than it was in years past because we didn't have a facility that could. You stop by our practice facility, our winter practice facility, because we don't have any big boards, and we're going to be able to expand it. Instead of having 13 guys and 13 guys being maybe 2 or 3 too many, we're going to be able to go into a full size rink and hopefully attract 20 to 25 guys a night and play lacrosse. once again, having legends, and I'm saying legends, Neil Paulus, and I'm going to say Dave Sikosi. Dave Sikosi's been playing with Neil Paulus for probably 15 years. The guys that have been playing now. Now you got Chris Ryan that's new to the Yeti this year. And Nick Suits has been playing. Blaine Stotler's been playing. Charlie Versace's been playing. These are all guys that are now going into their third year of lacrosse.
We're being told November, but we haven't been told specifically when in November, so we're probably looking at the middle towards the end of November, starting it up.
Awesome. Now, when you're talking about having your Yeti nights where you've got guys, that's an open night where other players can come and kind of try out. You guys do like pickup style nights, right?
It's pickup style, yeah. Yep. As far as we tone it way down. Let me reiterate that we're going to tone it way down because we want to get our. We got a bunch of elder guys that want to learn how to play box. We've been in field for 40 years in Tri-City. We want to keep those guys playing, and I'm one of those guys. In regards to being able to wake up in the morning and not need to pump a full bottle of ibuprofen down my body or down my I can move. We're gonna take the harder cross checking out of it through the middle, that type of stuff. It's a gentleman's game. Not to say we're playing masters rules, but we are going to play a more milder game of a box pickup. Yes.
And now, so you guys will have all this stuff posted on your Instagram, and really you're trying to encourage other guys in the area who have played field and maybe want to come and try it out. So some of the college kids, maybe this winter, they can start showing up because you have Mohawk Valley Community College there, you have Utica College, you have SUNY Poly right there.
Henson, as far as Cole down the road a piece, there's a lot of opportunity for the sport to grow in this area. Question. Well, that wasn't the video. That's just how I talk, Greg. I'm sorry.
That's awesome. So, like you were saying, is you're definitely looking for some younger guys. You guys really through your pickup leagues are encouraging to get like the Mohawk Valley guys, the Utica College guys, SUNY Poly guys, lacrosse players who are looking for an opportunity to get their sticks in their hand throughout the winter.
Okay. I mean, again, the rep you get compared to play. Why does your stick skills get so much tighter and so much better? It's because you're getting so many more reps off the wall. It's a fastest sport on 2 feet. They said field's fastest sport on 2 feet. Box is 10 times faster, and that's what's definitely spurred the excitement in me. Is just the flow of the game. Is minimal as far as stopping and play compared to field lacrosse. It's a constant go. It's pretty darn fun to watch. It's fun to watch from the coach, and especially with the youth, to see their development. And this past in the spring program, getting a lot of kids. They weren't able to pass and catch and everything, but because of the extra touches, because the ball stays in play, their stick skills were 100 times better than they were when they to us at the beginning of the season. And that's enjoyment for myself is watching these kids, develop from standing to all of a sudden they're balling at the 18U level. Brody Davis, as far as he was one of the kids on our U18 teams, and playing in our youth program for, I don't know, he's probably 17 years old now. He's been playing field lacrosse with us for the last 13 years. So to see a kid like that transform from being a field player to all of a sudden the last game against Pittsburgh. To see him, make that transition and then get a goal out of it. Yeah, that's what it's all about. That's spreading all over the game. It's to watch. It's awesome to watch.
Yeah, it really is. And to see the sport just continue to grow. I mean, we've definitely seen a lot of change in just this, couple of years with the NLL getting bigger and now the PLL getting bigger, and the sport is definitely growing. And a lot of it has to do with guys starting youth programs and things like that. I mean, just through your guys' influence, it spurred at least this one youth program that's taking place in Glens Falls.
No, as far as that's what we're for, and hopefully it's going to spur more where we can get teams to travel to each other. I mean, the kids want to play. The parents want their kids playing. It's a sport that, it has traditions. It has a story. Where did it start? That whole that's the awesome is to watch the older guys passing on traditions to the younger kids. And myself this year had an opportunity where our 68 kids sat there and listened to the first lacrosse game told through the mouths of the eyes and ears of Ty Hill and Alex. And to watch 68 kids, aging from probably third grade to sixth grade, to be so captivated, because they was totally into the story. They I had one my wife with his mother. She went, the young little guy went home, and Mom asked him, how was lacrosse tonight? And he's like, Mom, it was awesome. We heard about the story of lacrosse, and and he was a smaller little guy, and in the story they were talking about how the jackrabbit, was the small little guy that was able to move and get through the trouble, and to hear what his mom said was, the young boy said, Mom, jackrabbit. It was cool. It tells the story inside the story, and that's what it's all about. It's great to see traditions. It's great to see the traditions, being through the eyes of Ty Hill and through Alex telling the story of lacrosse to some kids that had no clue about the story, and that was the special part. And we also had a Chris Thomas. Chris Thomas and his daughter had come down and did a smoke dance for us, and watch these kids, and then they let the kids direct in the smoke dance. That was awesome. That's what it's all about. And I keep saying that, but it's very special. For myself, I'm definitely too to say, I don't know, word sensitive or whatever it is, but my eyes keep welling up in tears every time I see some of the stuff, because it's brought great joy to myself. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I like how Bob Leary describes it. It's just what is it? Networking and good karma. Because I mean, basically through all these connections, we've now been able to stream Neil Paulus. I mean, how much of that footage would
now yeah, Neil
I mean, how much
Paulus,
of that footage would have been lost being able to stream that? And you watch like Ty Hill, he's so smooth in the way like Alex Cook shoots, and so many guys on your team that play like that, like Peter Leota come flying down the floor, or Snow, or Versace, or any of them. Yeah, and to be able to capture that has been awesome.
It's and I'm thankful that you guys have captured it, because the games are so fast. You see something, but then now you're able to go back and recapture that and say, "Oh my gosh, that was awesome." You know, as far as here's a great example. You know, you were talking that Neil and those guys. How about those girls that were playing that have never played before, and now they go back and they experience it live and in action, to be able to
Yeah.
go back and sit there and say, "Holy cow! I just got lit up. Did you see how hard I got it?" You know, type of stuff. You know, it's priceless. It's absolutely priceless. I love it.
Yeah, it was awesome to get to be a part of that and really to stream the first the women's exhibition there was just so much fun. It was, yeah, like you said, I hadn't even really
It
thought
was.
about that. Just them being able to go back and watch it now and knowing that their exhibition had almost 2,000 views on it already. That's got to be a good feeling.
Yeah.
How many little girls are watching that going, I could do that now?
No, Beecher, like I said, had 20 girls. A lot of them are hockey players, which I ain't gonna lie to you. That's probably where we're going to be, recruiting the hardest is these hockey rats. You know, these kids don't want to leave the rink as it is. Now we give them an opportunity to be in there for hockey and also lacrosse. The parents are going to live there, and I can't wait. I'm sure the Utica Memorial Auditorium is happy to hear that because that's why they've invested into the downtown Utica and the Utica Memorial Auditorium, and that's a lot of chance that they're taking on the future in this area, and to say the future's bright in the Utica market. I mean, there has to be. If I'm guesstimating right this second, but there's probably 6 or 7 local youth organizations that have hockey in the surrounding, we'll say 20 miles. In regards to the amount of lacrosse players that possibly is, it's huge. It's it's going to be awesome. I'm so elated. I'm thrilled to be a part of it. I'm hope I'm doing the right things and representing it as the creator would like. And as far as spreading the love of it, it's infectious, and how can you not?
I mean, you're definitely doing something right. I mean, there's a lot happening there. But I wanted to touch back on Steve Stamp there when he was up doing the commentary, and Steven actually said, he goes, the main difference between American players and Canadian players is American players learn the outdoor game first, where Canadian players are hockey players who stay in the rink throughout the summer and learn the indoor game first. So when they finally start playing at that older high school, college level where you start deciding, okay, which way do I really want to take my game? It's a lot easier for the Canadian players to go from indoor to outdoor than it is to try to go the opposite direction.
It is a little challenging, no question. I think personally, from being in the field lacrosse pitched for 35 years, I coached field lacrosse for 35 years, from the youth program to the college programs. And as far as I think the coaches, the American style, need to let go of the reins a little bit. Obviously, every team has to have a game plan. But you want to know what we need to allow the athletes to be athletes. And in regards to why are all these Division I coaches flocking up to in Division III and Division II and for that matter, and MVCC and OCC, why are they flocking Fox? Because these kids' sticks are good. Why? Because of the amount of reps. Joey, when you're coaching the youth programs and you got Scotty and Joey out on the field, Joey passes to Scotty. Scotty misses. Scotty's got to run to pick up the ball. Passes back to Joey. Joey misses the ball. Joey to get the ball and then come back. That doesn't happen in box. So right there was two passes in the field that was made. In box, and Adam probably had 10. So the amount of reps that you're getting are incredible. Now, what I say about the coaches, let the athletes beat the athlete, let the athletes be the athletes. And it's just because it's a faster game. field is boring now because we're trying to play chess and the other team's playing chess. As far as let the athletes be the athletes. I get about getting your right people and personnel on and everything, but on the same note is what sixes is going to be is up and down the field. It's field lacrosse that wants to be box. It's a fast pace. And that's a whole nother game. I mean, now is field lacrosse going to become sixes? Is that the going? Because if it is, it sounds to me like it's box lacrosse. Just on the field.
The
I mean, the field's smaller. The exact boards. It's and why is that? Because it's more entertaining. It's faster paced. That's that's why not to say field lacrosse is boring. It's not boring because I'll sit down anytime it's on and I'll watch the whole thing through. But it's just a different tempo. And the tempo that the kids want to play, fast paced, let me be the athlete coach. I think I can do it. That's what they're thinking. Box is giving them that opportunity, as is field. Here's field lacrosse, Chris Ryan. Box lacrosse, Chris Ryan on the Yeti. Field lacrosse, Chris Ryan is a defenseman, a very talented that played at OCC defenseman. And on the Yeti, he's a offensive lefty and say threat enough because he is, and again, you want to know what? It's defensive because now he's the offensive guy thinking because he's that offensive guy. So it's a great combination. And right there is probably the example is you got a long stick defenseman being a short stick offenseman. It's cool. Another
it gives
how cool box lacrosse. And
it gives them a completely different avenue.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing is you have to. You can't be as much of a one-way player as you can in field lacrosse. Like in field lacrosse, you have three guys who are not even supposed to cross the other side of the field. Whereas in box lacrosse, I don't care how talented you are with your stick. You might get stuck out there in transition or have to play defense.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I differ from other coaches as far as I'm all about letting the all down. I mean, if you got a kid that's got gets back to the coach letting the players be players and let the talent flow. And man, if you got a kid that's got that ability and he can shoot the damn thing, if he can control the ball with a long pole, let it happen. Absolutely. But again, coaches are coaches, and that's everybody's got their own philosophies.
Yeah, no, I can say thank you very much for that because no, you opened. I thought I played defense and had to stay back. Once you told me I could run up the field, I was like, oh, you don't mind? And you're like, no, not as long as you get back. I was like, okay, here we go.
Let's run, doggy. Let's run. I had to take my headphones out because my phone was going to die, so I had to plug it in. So hopefully you can still hear me.
I can hear you. I just get a little bit of an echo, but that's fine. I actually got to run. I got to pick up my nephew from lacrosse practice right now, but it's been awesome talking to you as always, Paul, and can't wait till we get to do it again.
Beecher, please do me a favor. I got some Christmas, between Christmas and New Year's. We potentially have a job if you're interested streaming. We're going to do a small tournament at the Nexus Center for high school varsity players. And
hey, let me call you back from my phone in the car. I got to get off the computer though because I got to run. All right, bye.
Gotta go. Bye-bye.